Welcome to a series of videos that we're producing about upcoming changes in regulation and their impact to drug manufacturers as they report government pricing to the government. Today's topic we'd like to talk about is the change in methodology from presumed inclusion to the build-up methodology. In the AMP proposed rule, there's suggesting that we switch from using presumed inclusion to the build-up methodology. Presumed inclusion is what we've been using since the beginning of the Medicaid program. Presumed inclusion essentially is the idea that you have a transaction there, and unless you can identify that it doesn't belong in the calculation, it is to a foreign entity or some class of trade that you shouldn't include it in there, you can include the transaction. The flip of that, and what CMS is proposing in the build-up methodology, is that every transaction you have to positively identify that it goes into the retail community pharmacy class of trade or the eligible class of trade so that it can be included in there. If they don't have that positive verification, it needs to be excluded. And in many cases in the industry, the manufacturer doesn't know, especially when a transaction going through a wholesaler, who that end customer is, so it's very challenging for them to try to identify, correctly trace, and include that transaction.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because when the proposed rule came out, the trade associations associated with the pharmacies, the pharmaceutical manufacturers, and also the vast majority of comments that were submitted to the CMS came out in favor of a presumed inclusion and against removing it from standard processes. On top of that, the OIG recently completed a survey of 20 different pharmaceutical manufacturers and discovered that all 20 of them were using presumed inclusion in their AMP methodology. On top of that, 10 of those manufacturers, it was determined, would not be able to calculate an actual AMP if they were not able to use presumed inclusion.
And to be fully prepared, a manufacturer needs to have a plan for the build-up methodology in case CMS goes against advice. Some of the things manufacturers we've discussed with are to buy the syndicated data, to buy the data from the wholesalers for tracings, or at a minimum, having penny chargebacks to get the information from the wholesalers.
Mm-hmm.